Welcome to Cover Avenue number 2. We are still waiting for my phone to update. So we're going to go without it. It's at 68%. So I'm going to talk about the black heroes that should be household names that probably aren't. And the only reason why certain black household names are because of movies versus comic books. Excuse me. So we're going to start off with the first black household superhero name that everybody knows, which is Blade, a.k.a. Eric, whose last name just slipped my mind. Eric Blade is gonna get another video outside of this video, like after this video, because a lot of people are making the assumption and the mistake that Eric is part vampire when he's actually not. All right, we'll explain that in another video. Now, so everybody knows Blade thanks to Wesley Snipes and Spider-Man the animated series in the 90s. So that's how everybody knows Blade. All right, but everybody knows T'Challa because T'Challa was the very first black hero, but technically he's not black. He's from Africa in the legendary world of Wakanda. Wakanda forever. Shout out to my brother Theo B, who, just like me, we agreed that they should recast T'Challa because T'Challa's story is not done. Alright, with the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman, T'Challa's story is not done. Come on, Marvel, get your shit together. Come on, Disney, get your shit together. And hell, give me a job. Anyway, moving on. A lot of people know T'Challa to be one of the wealthiest black superheroes in Marvel. However, a lot of people don't remember who the hell Dwayne Taylor is. So let me refresh your memory. Dwayne Taylor, for us Night Thrasher fans, is the black equivalent of Batman. Alright? I'm sorry, Mr. Butler. You were half right with yours, but I'm all the way right with this. Alright, so Dwayne Taylor is a black young man born into wealth. Not like all the other black characters in Marvel who have had struggles with poverty and stuff like that. Dwayne Taylor's never had poverty. His dad and his mom, I don't know how they struck it rich. There's no story about that, but they were rich. Alright? So Dwayne Taylor lost his parents at the exact same way that Batman lost his, but with a twist. See, when Dwayne Taylor lost his parents, they were killed by his dad's best friend in front of Dwayne when Dwayne was about 7 or 8, just like Batman, who was initially, I believe Batman was 6 or 7 when his parents died, but I guess they retconned it and made him 8 or 9 so that it would, I guess, transfer well, you know. But the fact of the matter is, Dwayne, his parents literally were shot dead in front of him the same way Batman's parents were shot in front of him. The difference is Dwayne Taylor's parents were shot by Cord, the man who would later raise Dwayne Taylor basically as his own, trained Dwayne Taylor in all the forms of martial arts known in the 616, and he also had a daughter named Silhouette, or I forgot what the fuck her code name was, but Silhouette was his girlfriend, and she was Cord's daughter. Silhouette, her mom is Vietnamese, and Cord is black. Now, here's another plot twist. Silhouette mom also works for Dwayne Taylor. She was his fucking cook and his maid. And often they intermingled with Silhouette. I mean, he's known her all of his life, basically, but he didn't know how she was meant to be born to be one of these Iron Maiden chicks or whatever the fuck. And her crippledness, I think she got shot, but her crippledness kind of interfered with that. But she was a mutant and she could phase through walls and shit. But unlike Kitty, she can barely phase solid objects with her through walls, if that makes sense. I think they improved that later on in the Night Thrasher series, but it was a really small series, like 4 comics for each series, 2 series. Before they went off and fucking killed Dwayne Taylor, he had established the New Warriors. He had established the New Warriors, because all of the New Warriors quit and went with Richard Rider to be New Warriors. And so then the New Warriors did stay with Dwayne. They stayed with Dwayne, and then some still went with Richard Rider. I'm pretty sure that the ones that stayed with him was Justice, Firestar, and Namorita. And I think Turbo and the guy with the fucked up ass horns and Speedball and a couple other cats went with Richard Rider. I'm probably telling you this completely wrong, so please go do your research. But I remember this shit happening. Now, prior to that, the Iron Maiden thing where Cord and the New Warriors went to an island to stop Cord's wife, which they managed to wind up unaliving her. They had to bring 7 men, 7 brides. One of the brides was supposed to be Silhouette. Her destiny was to marry Dwayne Taylor and procreate with him to create gods because of whatever island that her mother was from. It was an Asian island somewhere out in Asia. And for some reason, the New Warriors had everything except for a fucking jet. I don't understand that either, but somehow or another, the New Warriors had everything but a fucking jet. Dwayne Taylor had 2 bases. One was by the shore, which Richard Rider and them took over when they quit. Because Dwayne had showed them this. And they quit and all kinds of other shit. But they had their main base, which was at the Taylor Foundation, like at the penthouse in a secret room. I'm pretty sure all this shit has been retconned since there has been 2 other Night Thrashers since Dwayne Taylor. One was his half-brother and one was his enemy, which was Cord's son, Midnight Fire. Alright? Who's also black, with dreadlocks. Okay. Now, like I said in my native book, that there's not enough black characters to be household names. So you know Falcon, Sam Wilson. You know Black Captain America Battlestar, who would later go to work for Silver Sable in the Wild Pack. You will know that there was another Black Cap, I can't remember his name, but he died. So he literally died wearing the suit. And then there was, what the fuck is his name? You have Rage, who was technically a 13-year-old kid. Dwayne Taylor took him because he borrowed the Quinjet to the island so that the New Warriors could fight this threat. And what happened after that was Hercules kicked Rage out of the Avengers and punched him in the face and damn near killed him. So Dwayne said, you have no right to do that. And he said, I have every right to do that because y'all took our jet without asking. He said, there wasn't any time to ask. The world was in danger. And Hercules gave the conversation, the world is always in danger. That's why we exist. So it was worded differently, but that's how it was. And they picked Rage up off the ground and they took Rage. I don't think the Avengers got their Quinjet back, which is why Rage was like really the blame for it. But Hercules, being an older person, should have realized that punching Rage was not the solution. But he punched Rage. Rage was fired from the Avengers or kicked out of the Avengers after that bullshit. So then they made him a new warrior, and just like Robin, Rage became Dwayne Taylor's ward. Now, granted, Dwayne Taylor took Rage in, but Rage still had parents that were, well, his grandmother was his legal guardian. So he still had a legal guardian, but they assumed that it would be better for her to let Rage live with Dwayne Taylor in a penthouse in Manhattan versus living in either Harlem or the Bronx. I don't remember where Rage is from, but it's somewhere in one of the 5 boroughs of New York. Now, getting that out the way and jumping back into my bro, Mr. Butler, about how these things happen. Well, see, the thing with, if we recast T'Challa, we're good. But they never, ever, ever let you understand why the fuck did they kill off Night Thrasher, the original. They literally killed Dwayne Taylor off within like 7 years of the New Warriors run. Like after the new Warriors came, for some reason they just killed Night Thrasher off. They literally just killed Night Thrasher off. They put Midnight Fire in his place, and then they put Dwayne Taylor's half-brother, because apparently Dwayne Taylor's daddy did have a son with another woman who might have been connected to Cord's wife. Alright, I have to go back and find the book, so that might be a little off. Just take it with a grain of salt. But apparently Dwayne Taylor's daddy had a baby with somebody else. Because I forgot the boy's name, but he's a Taylor. And matter of fact, let's see if we can Google that. I hate technology, y'all. I swear to God, I do. I mean, it's good when it works. Who is Night Thrasher's half-brother? That is not what I said. I ain't say nothing about no fucking
According to
Ash.
Pokemon Return of the Champion Wiki fandom, Silver Ketchum is one of the main characters of the book. He is also the youngest son of Giovanni and Ash's younger half-brother.
Y'all heard what I said. Who is Marvel's Night Thrasher's half-brother? This bitch got Night Rasher and Nightcrawler. Look at that shit. I don't know if you guys can read that shit, but that is not what the fuck I said. I hate technology, man. Don Yell. The legacy of Night Thrasher. Don Yell has taken up his legacy. Identify himself to be Dwayne Taylor himself, somehow having escaped death. This Night Thrasher was later revealed to be his half-brother Don Yell. Donyell, so I'm probably not saying it right. But he is Night Thrasher's half-brother. Now I just went to the Marvel Wiki fan thing, which, it has Dwayne Taylor instead of Don Yell. Dwayne Taylor 6'3", etc., etc. The original height for Batman. Because Bruce was not short by any means necessary. Alright. See, this is the thing about looking for shit. If you're looking for, Don Taylor as Night Thrasher. Let's see what it gives me. Alright, Don Taylor, aka Night Thrasher, half brother of this product of his. Okay, so I think Bandit was another guy who was Mighty Night Thrasher. This isn't giving me anything other than other personas as Bandit. Okay, so Daniel Taylor is Bandit. But Midnight Fire also once was Night Thrasher. I'm sure that shit's been retconned. Because he was Cord's son. Somebody who's a Night Thrasher fan, please correct me. Okay? Because I know for a fact Midnight Fire was Night Thrasher. He was like the second fucking Night Thrasher. And I believe it happened after Dwayne was killed. I forgot how Dwayne was killed, but he was still killed. And the reason why I brought this up was because of my bro Theo Butler and how everybody's at the MCU is so quick to just not even put T'Challa back in the movie. They just want to get rid of him completely. Well, that's kind of what they did with Night Thrasher. They literally got a new Night Thrasher. Two of them. Midnight Fire and then Bandit. Okay? Now, apparently Bandit looks similar to Dwayne Taylor. Why didn't they just keep Dwayne Taylor? Yeah, it'd been so much easier just to keep Dwayne Taylor. I brought this up only because my bro Theo Butler might not have been a Night Thrasher fan. And he might not have read the fact that mirror image for Batman technically would be Dwayne Taylor. Now, a lot of people would say it would be Tony Stark, but it's not Tony Stark because Tony Stark's parents were killed when Tony was a little older versus where Batman and Dwayne Taylor were babies, pretty much. They were really young, like adolescent age kids when their parents were killed. T'Challa was probably young when his mother was killed, but as far as his father, T'Challa's dad, T'Chaka, lived to a ripe old age before he was killed, forcing T'Challa to take back the mantle, or to take the mantle. But if you guys want Black Panther information, you go to Theo Butler and you go to him right now. Go follow him right now, because he's the Black Panther god as far as I'm concerned. Now, here's the thing on that. I'm not a really big Black Panther fan. I am a Night Thrasher fan, though, and I stopped reading New Warriors not just because of the cancellation, but because of what they were doing with Dwayne Taylor. Alright? Now, moving back to the basis of this video, there are not enough black superheroes noted that are household names outside of T'Challa, Blade, and Falcon, aka Sam Wilson. But there is a plethora of black heroes and villains that we just have not done any kind of reaching into. Like, alright, because I read New Warriors, I knew Midnight Fire. Alright, Midnight Fire is Silhouette's brother, Cord's son. Both of them have some issues with each other, which is why when Bandit was bringing into the fold, it was a whole different thing, and they got rid of Dwayne Taylor. But Dwayne Taylor and Silhouette were engaged to be married. Midnight Fire was trying to kill Dwayne Taylor because he didn't want Dwayne Taylor to marry his sister or create the God type thing that their mother was trying to make happen. Let me Google Silhouette's mother. I'm gonna butcher this name though. What is Silhouette's mother's name in Marvel Comics? Let's see if they actually show you the image. They did not show me the image, and I got 4 answering this thing on one of the Facebook things. Okay. Silhouette, fictional character, blah blah blah. We don't need to know that. Blah blah blah. Alter ego, Silhouette, Cord, English translation, Cambodia. It was an island on Cambodia. Alright. Why is it not showing her family? Midnight Fire and magically bloodlines of their mother. Okay, so Midnight Fire was her brother. Her brother's named Aaron Cord. Okay? So Midnight Fire, if this thing shows me a picture of him. This is the newer picture. Let's see if they have the older picture. Nope. They have him with his dreads pulled to the back fighting Dwayne Taylor. I have no idea if you guys can see that. And then they have this newer picture because I've never seen it before. But when you first see Midnight Fire, he's got those thick shades on. His dreadlocks look awesome as fuck as they hang down. But so, she's part Cambodian, excuse me, for anybody that I just pissed off messing that up. But it's not giving the mother's name. Fictional biography, maybe that'll help. Vietnam, Dragon's Breath. Maybe that's why I named my movie that. Maybe it hit me subconsciously. Where is his mother? Okay. Night Thrasher and his wife, Yami, daughter of Tai. Her name is Tai. So Silhouette's real name must be Miyami Cord. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. It does not have her name here as Miyami Cord. Brother 616. I don't understand how this works. Power was gained from the bloodline of their mother. The mother is a member of a cult in Southeast Asia who married an African American soldier in Vietnam, manipulated the dark force. Yeah, they were trying to make a god to control the dark force. So, she's also a paraplegic, has been paralyzed from the waist down. Yeah, she was shot, see? Doing a drug traffic game in her early career. So apparently she was a drug trafficker. Alright, so why is her name... Okay. Dwayne Taylor and his wife, Miyame. So apparently they got married. I don't remember them getting married, but I do know Dwayne Taylor ass died. Alright? So why the hell would they call her Silhouette if her name is Miyami, but it's not listed in this thing? This is the reason why technology also fucks me up. Because they left off a lot of stuff. You know? Anyway, you guys can go read this shit if you want. Her leg braces have tasers at the bottom. Her leg braces were pretty dangerous weapons. She also could use one as like a tonfa at one time. Because it could extend and unextend and shit. And she could stand on one leg. Her phasing powers wasn't as prompt as Kitty Pryde. Because Kitty can fly. You know, technically she can float. But, you know, she could ride on waves of the wind. Just like Longshot. For those who don't remember. But, like I said, I'm making this video because my bro Theo Butler touched on a very important issue. I'm also making this video because some of the people that I follow on TikTok who do comics don't know native heroes. They really only know the basics, and they leave off some of the black heroes that I know. And I'm like, okay, do you guys know these guys? But then I had to remember that I'm 48 years old, and these guys are like barely touching the surface of 35. So I'm a little older than them, and a lot of the shit that I read was all retconned in 2010. All right, Marvel retconned everything in 2010 after Onslaught, after House of M, and No More Mutants. No more money came up my pocket. All right, now because it was bad enough I was paying $4.75. There was a writer's strike. All kinds of shit was going on. Image was about to hit their heyday in the 90s is when it really was blowing up. And then Image started to fall off the rails outside of Youngblood, Stormwatch, and Wildcats. There was another one that I read besides Savage Dragon. Invincible went this way. Savage Dragon went that way, became a cartoon. Wildcats became a cartoon. Youngbloods went this way. Spawn became a cartoon on HBO. Everything was happening hot in the 90s, and then everything just said, shoo. By 2010, I was about done with comics. I still love Marvel. I still love Image. I still love DC. But if you want to go in order of how my comic books go, before I get back on track, Marvel's at my top. DC and Image are tying with Dark Horse. And you have Harbinger, Archie's, Tops, I think that's the name of them, kind of like the dinosaurs. And then you have the independents. So, like my top 5, 3 are in a tie for second place, And then you have Dark Horse and Harbinger. Alright, so my first one is Marvel, and then my second is a 3-way tie with Image, DC, and Dark Horse. And then you have Harbinger, and you have Archie's, and then other independents after that. I probably just fucked that whole list up again, so just take it from the first list and just add it. I like comics, and independent comics are like cool as hell. They're just like expensive for the independent maker to make and have published, and then when they finally get it to where the independent person can make the money, they're either bought out or taken over by one of the bigger names. And that's not selling out, that's called survival for those who don't know. Now, back to the story at hand. How many black superheroes do y'all actually know? How many? Outside of T'Challa, outside of Falcon, outside of Eric, aka Blade. How many of them do y'all actually know? Outside of Battlestar. And you only know about Battlestar due to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show. But did you know about Battlestar before that? When he literally was like either the second or the third Captain America, but he was one of the 2 first black Captain Americas. Falcon's not the first black Captain America for those who do not know. Matter of fact, let's see if Google can answer that. How many black Captain Americas were there before Falcon? Let's see what it says. Isaiah Bradley. I believe that's Battlestar. Isaiah Bradley. What the fuck? I should have just went with how many Captain Americas were there, and then I would have probably been able to pull them up. Alonzo also. Axel Alonso. I have no idea who that is. I think those are the writers. Captain America Timeline, Isaiah Bradley, Steve Rogers, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. Let's try this instead. Give me a list of all Captain Americas. Bucky Barnes, Sam Wilson, John Walker, Isaiah Bradley, there's 6 more. William Burnside, I don't know him. Spirit of 76, I don't know him. Clint Barton, Jeffrey Mace, he didn't make it. Scott Summers, I'm way behind the loop of that. Jeffrey Mace, I don't remember him, but he's a white dude. Spirit of 67, William Ness something or another. I do not know him either, and the picture isn't good enough to give me. Alright, William Burnside. This will take a hot minute. This is not what I was looking for. This took me to some shopping shit. And it completely didn't go back, like, at all. This just took me straight back to Deadpool. Now I'm at Power Rangers. Yeah, my phone's tripping. How many Captain Americas were black before Falcon? They keep going to Isaiah Bradley, but I know that there was other ones. Sam Thomas Wilson is the current Captain America. Were there ever other black Captain Americas? This talks about Anthony Mackie. That is not the question that you need to answer. The first black Captain America is Isaiah Bradley. Okay, but who was the other guy? Isaiah Bradley. Let's see, what the fuck? This is why I hate doing this. Let's see. Alright, we have Isaiah Bradley. Keep that name in mind. What is Marvel's Battlestar's identity? Lamar Hoskins. There you go. So Isaiah Bradley was the first black Captain America, and Battlestar was the second Captain America that was black. Because I don't think he completed the program or some shit. But this is him. Battlestar. So Isaiah Bradley and Battlestar before Falcon. Okay? So, like I said, I made this because not too many people know how many other black superheroes are household names. So you have Isaiah Bradley and you have Lamar Hoskins, who is Battlestar. Now, most people only know about them through Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV series. You know about Black Panther through the Black Panther movies and comics if you're a Black Panther fan. Which I, again, implore you to go follow Theo Butler. You will enjoy his content. You will be part of the Rock With Me Nation. Rock on, Theo Butler, Wakanda forever. I want to bring this video to an end because I'm missing Days of Our Lives. But, most importantly, I made both of these videos because there are not enough people of color who follow heroes who are people of color. In my first video, I specifically talked about Native Americans. In this video, I specifically talked about black people, where I brought up Blade, I brought up Falcon, I brought up Isaiah Bradley, I brought up Lamar Hopkins, I brought up Night Thrasher. That's 5. I brought up Midnight Fire. I brought up Bandit, who's Night Thrasher 2, or Night Thrasher 3, because Midnight Fire was also Night Thrasher at one time. But a lot of you, if you're not, I brought up Rage, and how he was an Avenger, one of the other black Avengers, because a lot of people don't understand. I think there may have been 5 black Avengers. You had Monica Rambeau, aka the real Captain Marvel. Not Captain Marvel, but Captain Marvel. You had Rage. You had Rhodes. You had Falcon. You had another black guy, I can't remember his name, but just like Monica Rambeau. Monica Rambeau took a fuck of these motherfuckers into outer space to defend space. And this had nothing to do with Agents of S.W.O.R.D. This is like a whole nother Avenger team, because at this time that Monica Rambeau took about 13 people into outer space, you still had 25 Avengers on Earth. You had the East Coast and the West Coast Avengers. So, you know, and for a time, when Tony was an alcoholic, War Machine was Iron Man. So let's not get it twisted. There were some black Avengers, but, you know, like Batman in the Justice League, Black Panther's a part-time. He's a part-timer. He wasn't ever a full-time Avenger because he had a whole country to defend and protect in Wakanda. So, you know, he had to do his thing as the king and was Black Panther when needed. But most of his Black Panther episodes, when he would come to America, you know, would help Avengers and then go back to Wakanda. And sometimes he even fought the fucking Avengers and has bested them in many a times. So again, I'm not a big Black Panther fan. I know of him, And I've given you what I know of him, but I also know that I could be wrong. So I'm going to point you in the direction of my bro, Theo Butler. Shout out to Theo Butler. Now, again, I'm also going to shout out a couple of the people that I follow on TikTok who don't know these native superheroes. My bro, the comic detective, and Comics Dad. Shout out to both of those guys. But the thing is, when I bring up native heroes or certain black heroes, people are like, who the fuck are these guys? You know, and there are not enough black heroes or native superheroes that are household names outside of T'Challa and Rhodey, you know, and now Sam Wilson, aka Falcon, aka the new Captain America. So that being said, it would help if Marvel pushed more colored heroes together. It would help if DC did the same, but I can't really name too many black characters in DC. So I'm not really as big of a DC fan as Marvel. My knowledge is extensively more Marvel than DC, and sometimes more Image than DC, because we all know that the original Spawn was black. Al Simmons, and Youngblood has two black men on there. You have Chapel, and he's in the Alpha team, and you have the other guy who is in the Beta team. And then if you go to Stormwatch, you have Battalion, who was black and leader of Stormwatch. And if you go to Savage Dragon, you had the black cop that was the lieutenant. You see where I'm going? There's not a lot of people of color in comics that are household names. I can't even remember the lieutenant's name for Savage Dragon, the one who saved him, turned him into a cop. And I still don't remember Savage Dragon ever even got his fucking memory back. And I don't even know if Savage Dragon even still sells. I think him and his partner had a baby, but I'm not gonna swear to it. But like I said, you don't have enough household name of colored heroes who are black or native. And the reason why I'm thinking about like covering this shit now is because there's not enough. There's not. And the more you search for them, the less of them you tend to find. That being said, I am Echo Fang Grey Wolf. I hope I enlightened you a little bit. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't do any Kung Fu outside of last night for a video. So you guys be well, and I will get back with you with another video sometime later tonight. Be seeing you.